Welcome to the public hearing for the State Road 408 Eastern Extension PD&E study. Tonight's presentation will discuss the purpose of the hearing, the needs and goals of this study, as well as the recommended alternative and its potential impacts. You will then have an opportunity to comment on the project. Public participation at this hearing is encouraged and solicited without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status. Persons wishing to express their concerns about Title VI may do so by contacting CFX. The contact information is also displayed at this hearing. There are three primary components to tonight's hearing. First, the open house, which occurred prior to this presentation, where you were invited to view the project displays and to speak directly with the project team and provide your comments in writing or to the court reporter. Second, this presentation, which will explain the project purpose and need, study alternatives, the potential beneficial and adverse social, economic, and environmental impacts upon the community, anticipated costs, and proposed methods to mitigate adverse project impacts. The public hearing also serves as an official forum, providing an opportunity for members of the public to express their opinions regarding the project. A formal comment period will follow this presentation, where you will have the opportunity to provide oral statements at the microphone, or you may provide your comments directly to the court reporter or in writing. In addition to the court reporter in the auditorium, a court reporter is available in the cafeteria to document comments. The State Road 408 Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study, is in the second phase of the project development process, where an engineering and environmentally feasible alternative that meets a community's transportation need is determined. A PD&E study has three main components: an engineering component, which entails the identification and analysis of potential design solutions, and environmental component, which evaluates potential impacts to the natural, social, and physical environments, and a public involvement component to inform and involve all interested parties in the development of the planned transportation project. The purpose of the PD&E study was to evaluate the potential to extend State Road 408 along a new transportation corridor from its current eastern terminus at State Road 50, locally known as East Colonial Drive, to the vicinity of the State Road 50 and State Road 520 interchange in northeastern Orange County. The study area was defined approximately half a mile to the north of State Road 50 and half a mile to the south of State Road 50. Currently, State Road 50 is the only existing major east-west facility in the area, and it is inadequate to meet the growing transportation needs of the local community, including traffic traveling to and from Orlando and Bithlo and other eastern Orange County areas. State Road 50 traffic congestion is expected to continue to increase, and a future State Road 408 Eastern Extension would help alleviate this increase by providing additional east-west capacity within the project area and diverting the through traffic from State Road 50 to State Road 408, thus improving mobility in the area. State Road 50 is the main evacuation route in the area, and the anticipated increased future congestion could seriously jeopardize the effectiveness of coastal evacuation from northern Brevard County. An additional east-west facility provides an additional emergency evacuation option and would greatly improve response and recovery efforts. A new expressway facility would improve mobility, connectivity, and system linkage to existing and future planned facilities, and could also enhance transit service and travel times. The vision of this enhanced east-west corridor has been previously documented dating back to the 1990s with the development of the 2010 Expressway Master Plan and more recently with the State Road 408 Eastern Extension Concept Development and Evaluation Study, completed in 2008 by CFX, which recommended that State Road 408 extend eastward from State Road 50 to State Road 520. Additionally, the recommendations of the East Central Florida Corridor Task Force, which was created on November 1, 2013 by Governor Rick Scott, included an extension of State Road 408 from its current terminus. The State Road 408 Eastern Extension is one piece of Florida's strategic transportation investments to support existing and future growth and create connections between global trade activities. from Orlando International Airport and the University of Central Florida to Cape Canaveral. A multi-phase alternative development process was followed. Various alternatives were considered, including the no-build alternative, which would utilize only the existing facilities, and several build alternatives. The existing State Road 50, when analyzed as the no-build alternative, is the only major east-west facility in the area and is inadequate in terms of future traffic needs and evacuation and emergency response times. Additionally, it does not provide the desired regional connectivity to I-95 to the east. Thus, the no-build alternative is mostly used as a benchmark condition in order to compare the costs and benefits of implementing the proposed improvements to those incurred by continuing to use the existing facilities. Alternative corridors were developed following two general guidelines. First, no corridor should infringe on the existing State Road 50 right-of-way, and second, potential location of future interchanges should be at least 1,000 feet away from State Road 50 in order to minimize operational issues. Using these guidelines in concert with the stated purpose and need, a total of 14 different corridor options were developed both north and south of existing State Road 50. Various opportunities have been afforded to the public and key project stakeholders to view and comment on the corridor analysis. The corridors were evaluated in terms of how they address the purpose and need of the study, as well as their effect with respect to engineering, socio-economic, and environmental issues. They were evaluated against the no-build option, which, as previously stated, would not address the stated project needs. The result of the multi-phase analysis, as well as general public consensus, indicated that Alternative 4 is the best corridor choice in terms of providing adequate balance between potential socio-economic and environmental impacts and benefits. Several typical section alternatives were considered. The analysis results obtained indicate that a 4-lane expressway with a 300-foot right-of-way is superior due to the fact that it meets all required standards and can accommodate a future 6-lane expansion if warranted. The results of the traffic analysis performed for this study indicate that State Road 50 will operate at a failing level of service from State Road 408 to Tanner Road in the year 2045, even if it is widened to 6 lanes. The extension of State Road 408 is expected to carry approximately 35,000 vehicles per day and is anticipated to divert sufficient traffic from State Road 50 so that State Road 50 will operate at an acceptable level of service C, in the year 2045. The State Road 408 extension is also anticipated to operate at an acceptable level of service B, in the year 2045. The recommended alternative for the extension of State Road 408 includes a new partial interchange at Woodbury Road with access to and from the east. The State Road 408 extension continues east and provides full access at the State Road 50 and Challenger Parkway interchange. The alignment of the new expressway continues eastward, south of State Road 50, avoiding or minimizing where possible residential, commercial, and environmental impacts, and providing several bridges over existing roadways to maintain access. A new full interchange is proposed at Avalon Park Boulevard, approximately 1,200 feet south of State Road 50, in order to optimize traffic operations between State Road 50 and the proposed interchange. As the expressway continues east, the alignment minimizes impacts to the Econ-Lockhatchee River and its floodplain by bridging the entire floodplain and staying as close as possible to the area already disturbed by Old Cheney Highway. A full interchange and an extension of Chewiota Road is proposed just east of the river. East of the proposed Chewiota Road interchange, the alignment minimizes environmental impacts as well as avoids dividing communities by bordering the southern limit of the Bithlo community. The extension of State Road 408 is proposed to terminate at State Road 50, just north of the State Road 520 intersection. The proposed interchange will allow for a future extension further east. A preliminary drainage analysis was prepared to determine the type and potential locations for the proposed ponds that will manage the stormwater runoff from the proposed improvements. 22 potential pond sites have been recommended at this time. Impacts to the 100-year floodplain will be mitigated through the use of swales and additional ponds for floodplain compensation. Existing community facilities such as community centers, daycares, fire stations, medical facilities, schools, religious centers, and others were identified so that impacts could be avoided and minimized. The project would directly impact 2 properties that are part of the Orange County Green Places program, as well as approximately 34 acres across 13 parcels that are under St. Johns River Water Management District regulatory easement. These resources and impacts are described and addressed in the State Environmental Impact Report and associated documents, and will be mitigated through continued coordination and in accordance with state and local requirements. As part of this project, right-of-way acquisition of private properties will be required. A CFX right-of-way specialist is here this evening and will be happy to answer your questions and will also furnish you with copies of brochures that describe the CFX property acquisition process. Within the study area, no resources that are eligible for listing on the National Register of Historic Places were identified. Additionally, no archaeological sites were found during any of the more than 80 shovel tests performed within the proposed area of potential effects. Because avoidance and minimization measures were implemented, no adverse impacts to listed species are anticipated. The recommended alternative would impact approximately 71 acres of wood stork-suitable foraging habitat and 18 acres of Econ-Lockhatchee River riparian habitat protection zone, both of which will require mitigation. Prior to construction, a complete survey of gopher tortoise burrows will be required, along with the associated permitting and relocation. The baseline conditions, including species sightings and habitat locations, are provided along with potential impacts in a natural resources evaluation report. A noise study was conducted as part of this PD&E project and involved identification of noise-sensitive receptors, including residences, pools, playgrounds, community centers, and other areas. Traffic noise models predict that 347 residences and 3 special land uses, the Waterford Creek Playground, the Bridgewater Recreation Center, and the Deerwood Mobile Home Park, would realize a noise level increase greater than 15 decibels. To reduce noise impacts, noise barriers were considered throughout the project. The noise-sensitive receptors and model results are presented in a noise study report and are illustrated on both the plans on display and the project video. Impacts to air quality were also considered during this PD&E study and included screening for carbon monoxide. Orange County is currently in attainment for all criteria air pollutant, and no substantial air quality impacts are anticipated as a result of the project. Potential impacts from contamination were analyzed and involved searches of regulatory databases, as well as field investigations. Each site of potential contamination was assigned a risk rating. 4 low risk, 13 medium risk, and 3 high risk sites were identified. All medium and high risk sites are recommended for additional evaluation in subsequent project phases. The location and regulatory history of each site is provided in a contamination screening evaluation report. A comprehensive public involvement program was undertaken by the CFX in conjunction with the engineering and environmental analyses in order to ascertain the most comprehensive solution to providing a new transportation corridor. Public information meetings began in October 2015 and have continued throughout the study process. Representatives from CFX and the consultant team were available at each meeting to discuss the project and answer questions. The public involvement effort for this project included 5 scheduled public meetings, including tonight's public hearing, 6 environmental advisory group meetings, 6 project advisory group meetings, as well as several meetings with project stakeholders and communities along the project corridor. All input received served as valuable information that was taken into consideration for refinement of the alternatives and the development of the recommended alternative. Based on constructability and financial considerations, the project has been divided into 3 distinct segments. Segment 1 would include the construction of the State Road 408 Eastern Extension from the Begin project, just west of Woodbury Road, to Avalon Park Boulevard. Segment 2 would extend State Road 408 from Avalon Park Boulevard to Chewiota Road and would provide a new Econlockhatchee River crossing, an interchange at Chewiota Road, and the proposed Chewiota Road extension connection to State Road 50. Lastly, Segment 3 would extend State Road 408 from Chewiota Road to the Eastern Project terminus, including the terminal interchange at State Road 50. A preliminary cost estimate that includes construction, right-of-way acquisition, mitigation, and other design and administrative fees has been prepared for this project. Segment 1, from State Road 408 to Avalon Park Boulevard, totals approximately $260 million. Segment 2, from Avalon Park Boulevard to Chewiota Road, totals approximately $255 million. And Segment 3, from Chewiota Road to State Road 50, totals approximately $163 million. The total cost for implementation of the project is estimated at $678.3 million. The proposed improvements were documented in the engineering and environmental studies conducted for this project. These documents and preliminary plans showing the proposed improvements are available here tonight for anyone who wishes to examine them. Project information is also available for review on the study website, www.cfxway.com/408study. Currently, no funding has been approved for this project for the next phases, including final design, right-of-way acquisition, and construction. Results of tonight's public hearing will be taken to the Central Florida Expressway Authority Board in May. At that time, the CFX Board will determine the next steps of the project. There have been various opportunities for the public to provide input on this project. Several public meetings have been held, dating from October 2015 until tonight. We welcome your oral or written comments that will help us make this important decision. At the conclusion of this presentation, our personnel will distribute speaker cards to those in the audience who have not received one and would like to make a statement. A court reporter will record your statement, and a verbatim transcript will be made of all oral proceedings at this hearing. If you do not wish to speak at the microphone, you may present your comments in writing or directly to the court reporter at the comment table. Every comment method carries equal weight. Written comments received or postmarked by May 7, 2018 will become a part of the public record for this hearing. All written comments should be mailed to the address shown on the slide or in your handout. The next step is to incorporate your input on this public hearing into our decision-making process. After the comment period closes and your input has been considered, the final PD&E documents will be ready for approval. This concludes our presentation. We now offer you the opportunity to make a statement.